So, welcoming on Daniel Partridge to the Yact podcast. Daniel, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Daniel Partridge. I'm a speakeeper from the UK, and I currently hold national records in pyramid 6x6 and 7x7.
Despite the fact that your username on Discord is Daniel Hates Pyraminx.
Yeah, I have definitely a love-hate relationship with pyramids. I mean, I haven't beaten my average, my 1.57 average in 2 years, so that's quite annoying. But yeah, I do have a pretty love-hate relationship with the event. I love 6x6 and 7x7 though. They're much better.
So, do you not care about beating the average anymore? You just want to focus on 6 and 7, or
Definitely not. I really, really want to beat the average. Unfortunate things just keep happening. Like I've had so many. I've had world record best possible average like 4 times I think before it got like 1.1 and very hard. But I just things just went wrong. Bad hardware, just plus twos, bad scrambles. I had, like I said, 4 or 3 world record BPAs, and every single time on the last scramble, it was just awful, and I never really would have had a chance to do well in it. It's just been a lot of unfortunate circumstances with pyramids, but I would love to beat my average. I'm really trying to go for that.
did you know that you were on WRBPA on the last solve? Were you calculating it as you're going
Yeah,
along?
yeah,
Did that factor into?
not really, because like I said, the scrambles were like so bad in every single scenario, and like in every single case that like no, like the nerves wouldn't really change anything because they were just like one like you would see scrambles that bad maybe like 1 in 30, 1 in 40, and I just got them every single time.
Like with I mean, you're really good at a bunch of events. You're good at like
Thank you.
Pyraminx, which is a the high burst event, and then you're good at like big cubes, and they're very different. Like, but I guess the in with like Pyraminx, if you make a mistake, it's over. With 7x7, maybe you can recover, but you have a mean. You don't have an average. Do you think about it the same way when you're doing user attempts, or not really?
I mean, yeah, like you said, that's a reason why I do like the big cubes, that you can make mistakes and then still like be in like for a good time. And I think I view the events of pretty different mindsets. I think because especially the tips on pyramids. If I'm like in a round where I really want to do well, if I really want to do well, if I already have like one bad solve, like say I've got like a 3 or a 4, it's definitely in my mind that despite the fact that it's an average of 5 and there's still like a solve that won't count, like it's so easy to just fumble on the tips. It's so easy to do all of that. Like I think it's a much more enjoyable competing experience than 7x7, because I just know that a mistake, despite the fact that if I make a mistake, that mistake will count in the average, the mistake is just going to take up so much less time of the average. That it's a lot nicer. It's a lot more
Makes
of a
sense.
relaxing competing experience.
I guess with like 2x2 in Pyraminx, a mistake is a +2 or DNF. It's such a huge fraction of the
Yeah,
solve.
yeah, definitely, yeah.
You like 7x7 more than 6x6. Is that like
Ooh,
parity?
I don't know about that. No, I think I like 6x6 more now. Maybe in the past 7x7 I preferred, but I'm a big fan of 6x6 now. I think it's for me at my speed, which is around 1 minute 20. It's a good amount of time for a, because 7x7 gets a bit too long. I think 6x6, like you have so much freedom with what you're solving. There's a lot of pieces, but 1 minute 20 is 1 minute 20 is an enjoyable time frame to fit a solve in.
I mean, I think I get that. Like that's why I'm too lazy to do big cubes because I'm nowhere near 1 minute 20 on big cubes.
It's understandable. Like when I had just started like doing big cubes back in a lockdown, I never wanted to practice them because it's just it's just so much effort to try and you know do solves when you're just starting out, because all the pieces are so overwhelming, and it takes so much effort.
And let's talk about lockdown because I was doing some research on you, and your first comp was in 2022. And your like
Yeah,
second solve was a 6.76 second solve,
yeah,
like right off the bat. So you got good in lockdown. There were no comps, and then you just appeared on the scene.
kind of. I mean, the thing about that solve is it was my second best ever solve at the time, so it wasn't like expected at all. It was
Okay,
Like I was very shocked with it. I think my PR average of that comp was a 9.99, which was
yeah.
I wasn't sub 10 when I got that. So it was just like a better than average. So I was happy with that, but I definitely didn't come into my first comp, expecting sixes and sub 10 average.
When did you first start cubing?
Okay, so it's a bit of an interesting story because when my dad turned 40, he learned how to solve a Rubik's Cube, and I was 4 when this happened, and he taught me how to solve it when I was 4, and I probably solved it about 8 times ever. And then, I was just 4 years old. I just didn't care. Like I don't think I had the brain capacity to care about like trying to get faster or anything. So I just didn't solve it again pretty much after that until I was until the start of lockdown or just before lockdown. And that was when I really, cared about getting faster, learned about the WCA, like got into speed cubing. And I actually quit. I can tell you the exact month. I think I quit in March of 2021 after cubing for about a year and a bit. And I only came back in like February, like the next year. So before my first comp, which was in May, I had about 3 months of practice.
What?
And I practiced so much during those 3 months. Probably some of the most practice I've ever done in my life. But yeah, that was like how I got into
What were you practicing then? Like what events?
all of them. I was cubing so much. I would just practice every event. Like I mean, I was focusing on pyramids. I always just felt like I don't know, just pyramids was just like my event from the start. But I was always focusing on everything, just practicing everything. I was just cubing so much.
I mean, you got NR and then later on CR pretty quickly for pyramids, right?
Yes. At my first comp, I got overall PB pyramid single, and it was 0.01 off NR, which is quite funny. I got a 146 at my first comp. It was overall PB, but yeah, I then pretty much after that, getting NR and pyramids was the main goal. I think at the time, pyramids NR was probably one of the weakest NRs in the UK, so it just made a lot of sense to go for that. And I got it, I think, after my first comp, probably about 4 months later, 5 months later, at the start of autumn. And that was, a big goal that I'd accomplished that I'd always wanted.
And then by that point, how were you dividing your practice? Was it mostly pyramids? Was it mostly 3x3? Was it everything?
I mean, it was just, yeah, like it's just so much cubing. Like I was always practicing everything, but if you like split down my practice into like percentages, like the amount of time I was practicing each event, pyramids would have been the biggest like portion. Definitely. I would never just focus on only one event. It'd always be.
So you're not like a serial focus on one event at a time, get good at it. You're not that kind of all rounder.
Oh no, definitely not. I like to try and be good at everything at once, or as much as I can be.
Because you've got like something like 300 medals, like 100, over 100 golds. So you're winning a whole bunch of events. You're beating specialists, and you're like 18th in the world for summer rank, something like that.
Thank you.
For,
I think I might be 11th now.
yeah, I think it was 13th single and then 11th average or something like that.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
And then
I
like
think
4th in Europe.
yeah, that's cool. It's yeah, I guess I don't know. I just always practice everything, and I think the fact that I always practiced everything from the start, I think really helped me out. Like I always wanted to be an all-rounder because I think if you look at someone like Aiden Granger, a phenomenal cuber who is trying to get into being an all-rounder, he very much goes for the approach that you said about, getting good at one event at a time, like really focusing and trying to get good at that event to become an all-rounder in terms of having the results on the profile, but not necessarily become an all-rounder in terms of being good at everything at once. And I think the reason why he has to do it like that is because, now that we're growing up, we're older, we have more responsibilities in life, exams, going off to university. You don't have time for that, for all that queuing. So I think he has to do it like that, and I would have had to do it like that so much from the start. So I'm very like lucky and I guess thankful that I was
You
doing
had
that from the start because it really helped me out.
you had lockdown at just the right age to be able to practice everything.
Yeah, exactly. It was obviously lockdown was a very bad time in the world, but it definitely helped me out in getting good at cubing.
How old are you now?
I'm 16,
Okay. So
so
you
and
would
I'm
have
in
been
year 12 at sixth form.
so you have less time to cube now or like practice than before.
Definitely, yeah. I think as I've grown older too, I've gained a lot more balance in my life because it used to be just cubing, all cubing. But now that I'm older, I kind of, do more stuff. I like hang out with friends more, just cubing just it just gets prioritized a lot less in my life, and I think that's a good thing. Having balance is it is good.
Before, if you didn't do well and you just had cubing, did it feel like there was like nothing else
Yeah,
almost?
I think definitely like if I'd have like a a bad comp result, then I mean that'd be my entire like life, I guess. It's just so it's not a good thing when it consumes you because obviously when you do well, it's all going well, but when it goes wrong, it's like the complete opposite. So I think definitely now my bad results affect me a lot less, but I'm still very happy when I get good results because I think a mindset that I definitely take into a lot of rounds I'm nervous in is like if I do badly in this round, or if I do well in this round, like if I get a group of just non-cubers, just average people, like none of them are gonna care if I do well in this round, and none of them are gonna care if I do badly. Like it's just like it's kind of irrelevant to the world, and I kind of just carry that mindset with me when I compete, and I think it's helped me.
I think that's a good mindset. So when you go into a comp, do you come in with goals or do you just do your thing?
I don't come in with like very specific goals. I think I always just want to do the best that I can do. And a goal that I'll always have is if there's events that I'm good at, then I'll be wanting to get NRs. I think that's the main goals. But I just want to do as well as I can, be happy with my performances, get podiums.
Where do you put all your medals?
Actually, I couldn't tell you. I think I'm pretty sure I threw like 100 of them. I know this sounds like I don't want to sound like ungrateful or anything, but I'm pretty sure I threw like 100 of them in the bin just because I had nowhere to keep them. But yeah, I don't really hang them up anywhere. I have all my trophies. I very much treasure my trophies that I've won at like at UKCs. They're on like on my window. What's it called? A window sill. My shelf. But yeah, I really like the trophies, but no, the medals.
Too many of
It's
them.
just a bit of a pain. It's a bit of a pain to try and store them. So yeah, I don't have them on like display or anything. I actually I have my first 10 medals on a cork board on my wall, but that's about it. I think
Do you remember the feeling of getting those first few medals?
I do. My first medal was a third place in Pyraminx, and I mean I was just elated, an incredible feeling. It was at my first competition, and I was very much. I don't know about expecting. I don't know about like saying I was expecting it, but I was definitely like going for it, and it was just a great feeling.
So
And
did you
then
like look at the psych sheets before going to that comp?
yeah, I was yeah I looked at the site sheet. I thought Pyra was pretty attainable, and then I just practiced as much as I could, and yeah, it just worked out. I was very happy.
Then your next couple of medals?
Well, the next day I won Scube, which it was a bit funny because I won with like a 5 average. Like it should not have won. Just no one was there that did Scube, and obviously I was very happy to win and get my first gold medal and my first comp as well. Yeah, it's just yeah, it's good. It's good. I was very happy after my first competition.
Because I imagine at this point you're just used to it. Like every comp I go to, pretty much you're there getting like half the medals.
I mean I guess I still I don't know. It's like I still get happy when I podium and get a bit bummed out when I miss out on one that I should have. I think it's just always nice to, go up in the award ceremony, get your name called, go up, collect the medal, take the photo. It's just nice. I mean, it's not like they've like obviously as I've got more of them, I don't think they necessarily like devalue. Like I'm always happy to get a podium. It's nice. Yeah.
It's fun to watch as well, especially when someone does a funny run up, or like when Monty carried Rufus, or Alan does a flip.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll have to learn pull that one out one day.
I'll see if you do that.
Yeah,
Are you going to Euros?
I am. I'm excited. I've got a lot of practice to be doing, but I'm going. This should be good.
What What do you want to achieve at Euros?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, obviously, the goal is always to podium, but I learned from last time that anything can happen. Like things out of your control can happen. Like last time at last Euros, I was pretty much the favorite to win. And then I won the first round, and then in the second round, like going into it, I had European record before Alexi took it a week before the comp. But going it like the whole run up basically to the whole run up basically to the comp, I had it. Then I won the first round, but then in the second round, I on the first hole of the second round, my cube kind of like malfunctioned. I guess I had to do 3 moves like to finish solve R U prime R prime, and it just did it R U 2 prime R prime, and I DNF'd. And then after the DNF, like my whole average was shook. I kind of clutched in a way, like it was a terrible average, but considering starting with a DNF in the most important round of my life, I got a 2.7, or what was it? 2.71, and I came 22nd, and it was top 20 to make finals. So it was definitely disappointing, very disappointing. But so this time I'm just trying to take the experience of that and use it to help me, do better this year. I think I definitely want to go in with the mindset that if I leave without a trophy in my bag, without a podium, that it was still a good comp. I enjoyed spending time with friends. I enjoyed traveling. Like I definitely want to go in with that mindset and not podium, like it's podium or nothing.
Yeah, I mean it's easy for me to say because I'm going there and I have zero hopes of ever podiuming there. But I'm just there to enjoy the show. But I think it's quite difficult for you to get to that point. And yeah, hopefully you can get
Yeah,
there.
there's Thank you. There's just so much competition. I think obviously Pyraminx, like the podium's always possible in Pyraminx, but I just want to put in as much practice as I can for 5, 6, and 7 to just be in with a chance of podium. That'd be nice. Just if things go really well for me and not so well for other people, like maybe there's a chance, but I guess just have to see what happens.
Is that a pro of being an all rounder that you
Yeah,
always have something else if something goes bad?
definitely.
Because for
Because like I said, like I said last time, I missed out on Pyramix finals, and I still got to be in 3 other finals, which was like very nice. Getting to walk out, see the crowd, um, like the crowd cheer if you as you walk out. It's nice. But back then, I never had any hopes or chances of podiuming in those events. But it was yeah, it was great. It's fun.
when you're in the finals, how much do you care about other people's results and like seeing what they're getting?
I think in UKC finals, I was given a very big advantage compared to other people because UKC did live data entry, and and for every single final, I would have the WCA live data entry on my phone, like on the table with me, and I would just be watching everyone's results get entered. And no one else in any of the finals would do that because I guess maybe for other people it would like make them more nervous knowing what they had to get, what they had to beat, how other people were doing. But for me, I was just kind of like I just have the mindset that no matter how well someone does, I know that I can do better, and it's just seeing their results just gives me more like clarity and more like being informed on what I have to be getting. It just helped me, and I was like given that advantage, which was great. So yeah, I definitely was caring about other people's results a lot.
That's impressive. I can't like if I have to get a really good time on demand, I feel like I'd screw up compared to if I just had to do the solve how I thought made sense without
Yeah,
any of the pressure.
I think. I mean that's very common. I definitely would have been like that when I was beginning as a Cuba, but with experience, I think my mentality's got a lot stronger, and competing under pressure's got a lot easier for me. So it's just about like experience and getting to compete more under high levels.
That makes sense. Do you like that aspect? Like what part of cubing do you like the most sort of out of getting a good result or getting a good ranking?
I like I like the championships. I like winning like trophies, the UK championships. That's nice. I care more about. I would rather win the European championships than get a European record, if that makes sense, in Pyraminx. Just because the championship in the moment, like there's a crowd, you're like competing in front of everyone. Like it's in the moment. It's just you can't put it into words. It's just I just love it.
Yeah, and I guess there's a kind of luck factor to a record almost, whereas a championship is
Yeah.
like everyone's doing well and you have to win.
Yeah, like on the day you were the best person out of everyone in the continent, and it's everyone's there. It's I mean, obviously I've never won a European Championships, but like that's the dream. That's like the ultimate dream. I think I would actually rather win a European Championships than get a world record. Like that's how much like
Well,
yeah, like just winning a championship like that, it would just be such a
what about a world record in like Pyraminx or in like for any event you'd rather win European
I
championships?
mean, I guess just world record in any event. It's just obviously I'd love a world record like more than anything, but just like that European Championship win would just be so special, just so exciting in the moment. There really wouldn't be anything like it other than obviously a
But you don't really have your sights. Have you been to Worlds before?
No, it's been too far, Korea and America. But I'm going to Sweden. And I guess I'll see how the European Championship goes, and I'll just have to see how see how that goes as well.
How often do you compete, and which competitions do you decide to go to normally?
I compete probably like twice a month, maybe like 1.5 times a month. And the competitions that I just go to what's close. I like going up, definitely go down south a lot less. I like going to Wiltshire comps though. I just like going, where my friends are. Don't like going to Stevenage because I've been there like 30 times. But no, it's not that I don't like it. It's just there's places that I like going more, but Stevenage is just my closest comp, so I do end up going there quite a bit. It's yeah, I like going to comps with my friends.
Yeah, Stevenage is the closest one to me as well, so that's where I've seen you a bunch.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
And so you don't really travel unless if it's a championship, like abroad or anything like that for a comp.
I mean, travel abroad, no. I went to the Irish Championships last year, and that was a great experience. Obviously, I couldn't win anything there, but that was just great. I went with my friends, and it was just a brilliant comp. No, I don't intend to travel abroad, like far abroad, if it's not for like a Euros.
Then for Euros or Irish Championships, do you like do tourism when you're there? Or do you just sort of focus in a comp and then go back home?
This Euros, like we're traveling, and then for the week after, we're going to be interrailing around Europe and going to like different countries and cities, and I'm very excited for that. So that should be, very, very exciting.
Sounds
Like
fun.
the traveling isn't just for the queuing, It's try and see as much as I can.
Part of having a balanced life.
Yeah, yeah. Like I said earlier, it's all about balance.
Do you so like with cubing, the people that you compete against, you also know them, they're also your friends. So like, do you worry about your like any of your NRs, any of your records, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, in most cases, my competition are my friends, and it's it's quite funny sometimes. Like I'll be competing in a championship final, and I'll want to win more than anything, but then the guy that's most likely to stop me winning should be like my best friend, and it's it's quite interesting to balance. I think it's just most cubers just have a healthy balance, like with competition, like a friendly competition environment where, you're friends with everyone and then you're competing against them. And it's nice. People are never really trying to, psych other people out, like sabotage them. That stuff just never happens. It's just good.
Because you also like know what their goals were, how hard they worked for it, and
Yeah.
barriers they crossed to get there.
Yeah. I mean, like Danny Morgan, he's one of my best friends in cubing. And I'm like the main person that's stopping him from getting a UKC win, which is like, it's kind of, you know, it's a bit I know it's a bit odd sometimes, when you're just competing and the people you're competing against are like your close friends.
Do you like motivate each other? Like, oh, he's getting close to me, or
Yeah, definitely. Like we like practice together. Like we want each other to do well. Like if one of us would lose, then we'd want the other to win. And it's just a nice competing, like it's a nice competitive relationship.
I asked this question to James Alonso, but like when you're one of the top people, you have fewer resources than if you're the slower person trying to improve, like in terms of techniques and what to do and like people you can learn from. Is it
Yeah.
kind of more of the same, like the same sort of patterns, but you just take it further, or do you have to figure different things out to get to those levels?
I don't think it's got too much harder, to be honest. It's just I kind of like always, work on like look at definitely. There's always more algorithms you can learn. Like you can always turn faster. I don't think it's necessarily got too much harder with like a lack of resources because I think I've always been very good at being able to improve of my own accord, like figuring out what I need to be doing, and that's just kept up with that as I've got faster.
So is it like someone going from 15 to 12 seconds for free versus like 8 to 7 or 7 to 6? That it's a lot of the same concepts, but just like more of the same, pretty much like better look ahead, better
Yeah,
planning, better turning.
yeah, I think so. It's just like you said, same concepts, just applied at a higher level, and it's going to be a lot more work. Like obviously, the faster you get, the more work it's going to be
I guess the
to improve.
only real difference would be like ZBLL, which ZBLL for 3x3. Is there for like the other events that you do they have like a something analogous to ZBLL? Like some big major technique that requires a lot of investment, or is it like of like being Yiheng for 3x3, just get the fundamentals really good?
I'm sorry, my audio was cutting out so much that I didn't really catch that.
Right. Like with 3x3, there's ZBLL, which you know for ZBLL, and for the other events that you do, is there something like ZBLL for them in the sense that like some big thing that the top people are
Oh,
learning, or
okay.
is it like just be like Yiheng, just be good at fundamentals and do that?
I think obviously in 3x3 set, like ZBLL is quite interesting because some people claim that certain sets like Soon like aren't even worth it compared to just doing Soon into PLL. I definitely think ZBLL is worth it and will make you a lot faster. Obviously, it's a huge alg set, 490 algorithms. I think in some events there's definitely big alg sets that are maybe more crucial to the event than ZBLL is to 3x3. Like if you look at Megaminx, if you want to compete in Megaminx at like a high level, full OLL, which is like 190 or so, that might be incorrect. And then full PLL, which is 152. They're a lot more crucial to being faster at top level than ZBLO is to or ZBLO is to 3x3. So I think maybe not necessarily there's other sets like that in other events. There's definitely big alg sets that you need to learn in other events, but I think they might be a bit more crucial to the event.
What about for 4x4 with PLL and parity? I think Sebastian was learning a lot of algs for that.
I mean, I would say that stuff is definitely less crucial than CBLO. I think I've looked at that stuff before, like doing optimal algs to solve PLOs with parity and stuff like that. I think I would mess them up in comp. Like they're so like jaggedy and lack fluidity and all that stuff. Like they're just very hard to execute. I've tried learning a few and I just don't like them at all. I think just learning the best ways to approach each PL parity case is just the best way to go about it. Just do a PLL, do PLL parity, or the other way around. That's better.
How much would you say for your practice? Is it kind of grinding a bunch of solves versus deliberate practice and learning?
I think that's an interesting question. When I do my solves, I would never kind of put it down as just grinding solves because whenever every single solve that I would do, I'm always trying to improve. Like I'm always thinking, can I be turning faster? Can I be looking ahead more? Can I be more fluid? So like I never really grind solves in the sense of just like mindless turning, mindless solves, not really thinking. I'm always trying to improve no matter what. So a
Interesting.
lot of my practice will a lot of my practice will just be doing solves, but it's never like mindless. It's very much like deliberate what I'm doing, like in the solves.
So is it like for the next 10 solves, I'm going to be focusing on look ahead or something? Or is it like just every aspect you got
No,
to focus on it?
it's just every solve, every aspect I'm focusing on it. Like I'm just always every solve trying to turn faster, trying to look ahead more, trying to be more fluid, just trying to solve the best I possibly can. Because I don't want to solve if I'm not solving it the best I can.
What about when you learn something that makes you temporarily slower? Is that an issue for you? Do you sort of go through that like when you first started learning
Yeah,
ZBLL, for
I mean,
example?
I don't think Zebulon made me slower. What definitely has made me slower is trying to switch to yellow cross on 3x3, which is like become dual neutral because I'm white cross only, and switching to yellow cross has been just the fact that I am white cross only has been a massive bane of my existence. Like it's just it's definitely worse than dual neutrality, and it's just rubbish. And but at my speed, like sub 7, like it's just so hard and long and tedious to try and gain my speed in yellow cross. And I've tried many times and I still haven't really been able to make the switch. I probably average like a whole second slower on yellow. So it's just pretty annoying. Hopefully one day I'll be able to get to a stage where I'm completely dual neutral.
Is it something that you're not focusing on right now? Or is it something that you're
It's something that I want to be focusing on right now, but sadly, no, I'm not really. I need to be though. I definitely want to be able to be dual neutral by UKC, and do well in 3x3 finals. So I should be. So yeah, I guess in the next few weeks I might really try and go hard on yellow cross.
yeah, maybe do yellow only for a bit or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So definitely something to consider.
So with white cross, I think you told me that you plan cross and maybe first pair, but you don't really focus on planning so much. So do you think with dual you'd be planning more in inspection?
Sometimes the white cross solutions I do are just they're just so long and like very very hard first pair, and it's like when it's dual, I'm gonna be doing a much better across each solve, and it's just gonna be a lot easier to plan.
Then do you think you'd be doing like 2 pairs, or you're not there yet?
I think it would just be the one, and then 2 pairs in circumstances with a great cross, or it's just blaringly obvious. Like,
So what would you say is your style for 3x3, or like main strengths in how you approach it?
I think my main strengths are look ahead, and obviously ZBL. Like, I know a lot of algorithms, but I think my main strengths are just look ahead. I always know like what I'm solving next. I never really have to pause. I think my turning could definitely be better, and my fluidity could definitely be better. But my look ahead's definitely my best aspect of my free.
What about your efficiency? I guess with ZBL, that's pretty good now.
I'd say I'm pretty efficient. My F2L could definitely be a bit more efficient in terms of like edge orientation, things like that, like doing less rotations. But I think my efficiency is like I could improve, but it's probably better than I've probably improved it quite a lot.
Yeah, okay. So I've asked a few people this question, and I think you can actually answer it quite a bit better, which is what do you think are the limits for the various different events, human limits?
It's such a hard question to answer because if you asked me this in lockdown, I would have told you sub 4 3x3 was like past the limit. Like you wouldn't be able to do that on average. And obviously, you look at Yiheng. Today, Yiheng got 3 sub 4 averages in a row in first round, second round, semi final. Like that's just
Wait, what?
that would have been yeah. Yiheng today at like I think it's called like Xi'an Cherry Blossom. It was something like that. He got 397, 394, 398, something like that. And
Well,
yeah, and he also didn't podium somehow, but in the finals because there was 4 rounds. But if you'd showed that to me in 2020, like you would have blown my mind because I would have said that was past the limit. But I think with 3x3, the limit's probably about with like maybe like one looking the whole solve 16, 17 TPS and like getting lucky on like a average, maybe like a sub 1.9 average is possible. But
so
that's
you'd
like the
have to have
absolute
like
human limit.
how lucky are we talking? Like last layer skip, key last skip.
I mean, if you're saying like, I don't know, human limit in terms of like what globals could get down to, maybe like mid two, low two. Obviously, the more lucky you're wanting to say, the faster the limit. If we're saying like, oh, like 5 PLL skips, then maybe like 1.9, yeah. But that's obviously extremely rare. So probably a bit slower if you're talking more realistically.
What about for Pyraminx?
I actually think we're pretty close to the human limit in terms of like Lincoln, who's 1.14 world record average. I think the event that's most close to being optimized, probably about like 1.0 global, 1.1.
So do you think hardware could change these limits, or do you think it's pretty good too?
Ooh, I think in 3x3, not so much. In Pyraminx, I don't think it changed the limit, but I think it would enable people to be more consistent. Because right now, Pyraminx hardware is just bad. It's not good at all. And I think it would just improved hardware will enable people to be more consistent.
What's wrong with Pyraminx hardware? Like I know you told me you did a U2.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's just Pyraminx hardware. I think the tips are like pretty much in every single Pyraminx, like the tips just suck. There's not been a great like solution for tips in terms of like what they've done. I think they're definitely quite a lucky thing. I think it's like the least optimized hardware, definitely. Like that, you haven't seen a Pyraminx hardware improvement since like 2020. I still use a cube that
Well,
was made in 2019. Like it's kind of crazy, but I just think they can be improved in lots of different ways. Like almost every aspect of the puzzle, you can improve it, which I wouldn't say is the case of some other events, maybe. Or
so do you think if there was
some
a
other.
big new release that you can just have a bunch of, well, like not world records, but just like records, national records, European records, extra
I think
averages?
I would, yeah. If there was a great release that just improved every aspect of the pyramids, I think you'd have people that want to practice more. So get more records in terms of people like are just more motivated to practice with a good hardware, good puzzle. And I would definitely practice more. And I think it would just enable like someone like me to be a lot more consistent and hopefully break my inner.
What about big cubes and megaminx? What do you say is the human limit for those?
Very hard to say as well. Probably the limit on like 7x7s around like it's just so hard. I think maybe like 1 minute 10, 1 minute 05. I don't think we'll ever see a 7x7 sub one.
So that's for
But
single.
I mean you never know. Like I said with Yiheng, like I would have never thought that'd be possible. Maybe in like 20 years, I'll think about, oh, let's have a look at what's going on in cubing. I'll just see like a 54 or 7x7. But I guess we'll just have to see. Like, I really don't know. Like, if you want me to just give like predictions, I'd say 7x7, maybe like 105, 6x6, maybe like 40, 45, 5x5, probably about like 20, like 19, 18, and then 4x4, probably about sub 10.
Okay, that's insane. How about predictions for records beaten this year?
This year, I think Megaminx will get beaten by quite a bit. I think there's a lot of just like a lot of competition going on in Megaminx right now. I think 3x3 average will definitely get beaten by Yiheng and Chuan. I think they'll both knock it down quite a bit. Like I said, Yiheng got 3 sub 4 averages today. I think so it's 105 by Max Park right now, and he started his last 6x6 average 107, 102. So, one more good solve that could have been world record. But I think big cubes apart from that are pretty fast and might not get broken. I think Pyraminx won't get broken for average, but single, yeah, that's pretty much it probably.
All right, so we've got about 10 minutes left. How has cubing sort of changed things for you? Do people at school know that you're this good at cubing? Do they treat you any differently?
I think like people at school definitely know. Like I've told people, not really. Like I'm just like a normal person. Outside of cubing, I'm just like a normal person. People definitely don't treat you differently. I think people maybe definitely think it's, I guess, maybe less impressive than it is. Like they maybe think I go to competitions and there's just like 10 or so people there. Like they don't realize that it's like a big thing. But I think, yeah, people know about it, but it's like they just like, they just maybe think it's like quite cool. That's it.
I think a lot of non-cubers don't know how big the world of speed cubing is. They don't know that there's a whole community around it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, okay, what do you do when you're not cubing? Oh, wait, did you want to carry on that topic?
When I'm not cubing, so like I said earlier, I like to hang out with friends. I'm trying to get into mixed martial arts. Like I want to be a MMA, like maybe like an amateur MMA fighter. I think that'd be quite cool. I train Brazilian jiu-jitsu right now, and I did train kickboxing, but the gym, I wanted to find a different gym for like some reasons. So I'm currently looking for a different kickboxing gym. But mixed martial arts is just, like it says, mixed martial arts is it's just where you fight with most martial arts combined, and it's definitely the most interesting martial art to me. But like the most interesting like form of fighting where you combine all of it, like grappling, wrestling, and it all comes together. And I like watching UFC, which is the main organization with mixed martial arts, and I just want to get into it, and I think it'd be cool.
So I used to do martial arts a long time ago. I did karate and judo, then I did kempo, which is kind of like a mix. So there's a bit of both,
Nice,
like
yeah.
grappling and striking.
Judo's quite interesting because I seen people train judo at the place that I go, and it looks quite cool. It's like a bit of, is it a bit of striking with like takedowns and stuff like that?
I mean, it was a long time ago and didn't do it for very long, but it was mostly grappling. There wasn't really any
Cool. Okay.
striking.
Cool. Oh, okay. Cool. Nice.
And what do you study at sixth form?
Oh yeah, I do maths, further maths, economics, and psychology, and I want to do engineering at university. I wish I took physics A level because I only recently decided that I wanted to do engineering, and obviously engineering and physics go pretty hand in hand. So it's pretty annoying that I don't do physics. But it is what it is.
I wish I did physics at A level, but yeah, here we are. I did maths, computer science, and sociology. Then I
Oh, cool.
did economics and I dropped it. So would you say you have pretty big STEM mind then?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, I really enjoy maths, and I want to get into engineering. But I also definitely enjoy psychology. It's quite interesting to learn about the mind, learn about stuff like that. So it's nice to have a mix of subjects.
So it's not all the same.
Yeah,
It's
it's
not,
just
yeah.
like bit of variety is always nice.
Do you have a preference for what kind of engineer you'd want to be?
Yeah, maybe like aerospace. That's quite cool. Um, maybe maybe like working with satellites, like spacecraft. That'd be so cool. But I guess getting a job with the British Space Agency would be quite quite competitive. So I guess I just have to see what happens. But yeah, I just take it one
Easier
step at
to
a
win
time.
euros, huh?
Definitely. I'd definitely say so. I think I'll just take it one step at a time and start to see how it goes.
Are you watching the Artemis going to the moon?
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'm not like watching it, but I'm definitely like following it. I think it's very cool. They're not. I thought they were actually gonna be landing on the moon, but they're not. They're just circling around it. But it's still super
I
cool. I think.
I heard something crazy, which is apparently the way they get back is not by fuel, it's by gravity slinging them. And so if they get the angle wrong by like 1 degree, they're just going to drift into space forever. They're not going to have fuel to get back.
Oh, wow. That is that's pretty scary. But yeah, that's
Scientists and
just a
engineers,
crazy. That's pretty crazy display.
yeah, makes me wish I went into it. But anyway, it's been about an hour. It's been good to have you on, Daniel, and interesting
Thank
to
you.
hear your takes. Was there anything you wanted
Yeah, it's
to
been good talking to
say
you
or
too.
plug?
Not really. Um, yeah, it's just I don't really have anything to plug to be honest. It's been good. It's been very enjoyable. Thank you for having me on. It's been good talking to you.
Thanks for being on Yact podcast, and I'll see you probably in some competition somewhere soon.
Yeah, all right. See ya.
All right,
Thank you.
bye.